Stock market's down like 1.5 to 2% on the S&P 500, which means that stocks like I'm in, high beta, which means highly volatile stocks, take a 10 to 15% haircut each. So am I panicking? Is it all over? Or am I just coping? Well, let's find out. Bro, I'm still massively up on a lot of my positions because I bought in the April lows with the Trump tariff mini crisis where everybody lost their shit. So, I mean, look here. I'm so in the green on many of these stocks that I don't care. SoFi, my average is $18. I've got 825 shares. I keep buying more. Otherwise, that average would be a lot lower, more like 14. But I keep buying. I want 1,000 shares of SoFi, bro. Only time will determine if I manage to accumulate them enough before it gets too expensive. But Robinhood, my average is $49. I've rejigged this portfolio around, but even like AST Space Mobile, which has taken a big haircut from 80 some dollars down to 60, well, my average is 32. Because I saw these plays early enough and had an opportune time to get in. By the way, when I made the video and I told everybody opportunity of a lifetime is here, but I'm not giving you financial advice. I never have been, so don't listen to a word that I say. Your capital is at risk. But the elephant in the room, bro, is Bitmine Emerging Technologies that I'm down $2,000 on. Am I panicking about that? Am I going to sell? No. No, I'm not. Like I say, you can determine if this is cope or not. But this is my play on Ethereum as a 10-year play. I'm looking to 2035. I want to know, am I going to be a millionaire in 2025? This is my play on that. I decided I would be willing to risk 10 grand on this by being too early, potentially. And I'm early by the tune of 25% so far. I'm 25% too early. I'm down $2,000 and change. But I can afford to do this. I could afford to do it, so I'm doing it. Out of fear of missing out. FOMO, bro. I don't want to miss out. This could pop off any day. If Ethereum starts running, this will pop off to the moon. So I didn't want to be too early. I didn't want to be late. Now, I've warned everybody not to follow me into Bitmine Emerging Technology. It's high risk, high beta thing that you have to have a strong stomach for. If you want to hold Ethereum, then just buying it in a physical Ethereum ETF, it's actually an ETN, but they do hold the physical Ethereum on a one-to-one basis in a cold wallet, would be a place that I would do it if I was less risk on. That's where I'd do it, in a stocks and shares ISA, or buy the Ethereum on Coinbase, on another exchange, and either leave it on the exchange or take it off and put it in a cold wallet if you'd rather be the custodian of your keys for 10 years. You have to pick your poison as to what is the riskiest way of holding it if you're buying the coins directly. In a ETN, in a stocks and shares ISA, it's pretty safe. Pretty safe, in my opinion, for my money, not for you. I'm not giving you advice or anything like that. But for me, I took a leveraged play on this Bitmine Emerging Technologies at 10 grand, knowing that it's risk on. And I'm 25% too early, but I'd rather do that than be late, because to me, the thesis is still in play. And with all this stuff, the big rewards are really only available at the highest risk moment, at the moments of most uncertainty, when you're early to something. You have to see something early and take on all that risk onto your shoulders for the potential of it paying off and you winning bigly later down the line. If it was already certain, bro, everybody would have bought in. It would have already performed, and there would be no upside left on the table. The massive upside is there because you're there at a point where people are looking at this and saying, this is very risky stuff. This is very uncertain. So that's the definition. That's the definition of a risky future play. And so I'm willing to risk that 10 grand there. But I mean, just being upfront about it, where we are, yeah, it's down. Anybody who messaged me privately, I did warn you. I warned you carefully to be careful and DCA into something like Ethereum. It could go down 30% in the next few months before it goes back up. We might keep going down. The truth with crypto, the whole story all the way along has been, bro, that you should slowly accumulate. If you believe in the thesis and the thesis is not broken, then you should slowly accumulate and try not to even look at it. Because unless you have the stomach of a king, then you're going to panic and sell. And you're going to panic at the bottom when it looks like the bottom's falling out. You're going to panic then and sell. And the story of like Bitcoin, let's look at it here, is that if you'd have panicked at any one of these points, well, later you'd have had all these other opportunities to sell. I mean, the story of Bitcoin is that people were telling you that you were an absolute idiot to be buying right down here in 2014. People are saying, what the hell, kid, are you doing? Buying that shit? It's $1,000 for something that isn't real. It's only on your computer. You absolute moron. They were telling you for buying down here. Let alone in 2017. Were you an idiot to be buying in this run here? No, this, that it was going to go down here. Obviously, you can't know that. But people will tell you, whoa, what an idiot you were. You bought Bitcoin at $17,000 and now it's gone down to $6,000 and you're holding it. Bro, it's going to zero. But look how the story then played out. The story played out and you would have had many opportunities later on to sell at 10 times. To sell currently the highest at what, 100 and just under shy of 125,000. So the story of crypto basically, anyway, just to quicken this video up, is that you need to not look at it, for God's sake, and come back in 10 years and find out if you're a millionaire. That's really what you have to do. But if it's in a portfolio like this, then it's, and especially if you're sharing it on the internet with people, then you kind of have a duty to come back and be upfront about it, where it is. So here I am being upfront about it. Yeah, it's, my Bitmine immersion is down 25%, but I've actually increased my position. I haven't reduced it. So why aren't I panicking? I mean, we could be headed for a bit of a bear market, short term. That might be the case. I don't know. Nobody knows is the truth. If I believe that, then what I'd have to do is take money out of all of these plays and hold it in cash. That'd be what you do. Hold it in cash. But I'm not willing to do that because I believe that the theses remain intact. The two theses that are in play is that we are in a generational bull run due to the recent invention of AI that is a transformational technology. Why is the stock market volatile currently? And it's across the board. It's across all crypto and it's across all stocks. It's because of uncertainty. There is uncertainty because of the real potential and the beta within the stock market about is AI in a bubble? I don't believe it is. Yes, it's bubblicious and some things are too highly valued. But if we look at the Mag 7, if we look at the companies that are really powering the AI bull run, which is Google, Microsoft, Meta, Nvidia, Apple, all of these companies, Amazon, all of these companies are generating real revenues. This is nothing like the dot-com bubble, which was private equity pumping up companies that had no revenue just because they had .com in the name. This is a completely different thing. This is real companies with real revenue, real profits, who are investing CapEx, capital expenditure, into AI to build out something that they see as a generational technology that is in its infancy, but there's an incredible amount of uncertainty around this in the market. So there's questions: is it a bubble? Now in America, the government has withheld economic data for the last couple of months due to the shutdown. Are they hiding some bad data? They might be. There's uncertainty at the moment, so everything is down across the board. If it was just one thing, if it was just Ethereum tanking on its own, then I'd put my finger in the wind and realize, things were blowing in the wrong direction and something was up. But because it's across the board, you have a choice to make. Do you take all your money out and sit on it in cash like a boomer and wait? To be fair, that's what Warren Buffett's doing. But Warren Buffett didn't buy it in April. I mean, who am I? What a kid with hubris to dare say that Warren Buffett is a daft old boomer who's lost his edge. But I mean, it damn sure looks like it. He chose not to buy a single stock in April. When the generational opportunity of a lifetime presented itself there at the April lows, bro. I mean, what was he thinking? Why did he stay in cash instead of buying Robinhood at $40? He had a chance to buy it at $30, bro. $35, $34 in April. What was wrong with him? Well, the truth is Warren Buffett, as a boomer, is into capital preservation. He's got billions of dollars and he wants to keep it. And you can keep it by just sitting in cash. But if you don't have it yet, and you're young, and you have money that you're willing to risk to take that chance to raise your station, at the risk of being wrong and just remaining like everybody else. If you're willing to take that risk and be early in something, then and absorb that risk onto your shoulders, then you have the chance of potential gains if it all plays out. And that's where we are. That's my update. I'm not panicking at all. You can determine if this is all cope. The thesis has remained intact. I believe we're in a generational bull run with AI, and I believe that the tokenization of digital assets makes for Ethereum to be something that we're early to spot, and that over the next 10 years, I want to come back and have a look at and see if, there's a high chance I could be, a millionaire later down the line. And that's all. Thank you for watching. That's where we're at. That's the state of SJJ's portfolios. Thank you for watching. This is not financial advice. I'm just an idiot. Don't listen to a word that I say. I appreciate you.